The deadly midair collision near Reagan National Airport is once again under the microscope on Capitol Hill. The January 2025 crash killed 67 people, and it led to a federal review of air traffic safety in the D.C. region. Yesterday, the FAA administrator was in the hot seat as lawmakers pressed him on what is being done to prevent another tragedy. Our Jacqueline Quinn is live on Capitol Hill with really a breakdown of what he had to say in response to this. Jackie, good morning.
And Simone, this is really the first time that we're hearing from the FAA Administrator Brian Bedford, and he actually acknowledged the lack of action by the FAA prior to this collision. He also talked about the recommendations from the NTSB, the 35 recommendations, and where they're at with it. But let's listen in on some of those issues that he went over surrounding Reagan National before the crash.
We had, I think, a bad plan in the capital region. It was a bad design. There were absolutely data telling us it was a bad design and we should have done something with it. So again, we concur. Having said that, as you look at additional findings in there, yes, to your question, there were poor decision making.
And Bedford testified that he agrees with the findings of the NTSB report about what led up to that deadly midair collision over the Potomac, including how information was handled between controllers and safety officials, how risks were evaluated, and how staffing and operational decisions were made in a complex and overloaded airspace. Now, Bedford says the agency has taken actionable steps to correct some of those shortcomings, including restricting helicopter operations near Reagan National, enhancing visual separation procedures, and adjusting air traffic flow and how safety information is shared within the agency. Lawmakers, however, pressed him on whether the recommended changes have been properly implemented.
Now I'm asking you, how many have you closed? And you're saying, well, only NTSB can close. That's true. And the only way that NTSB can close these is if you actually implement fixes to this. And so you've not done any of that. And so you're trying to talk circles around us, and it's not going to work. And frankly...
And another admission from the administrator surrounds air traffic control that was a factor in this crash. However, despite this, hiring targets for this were actually lowered. And so he says that it could take several years before we see a fully staffed air traffic control system. For now, in D.C., I'm Jacqueline Quinn, WSA 9.
It is startling to hear so few of those safety metrics have been put into place. Jacqueline Quinn reporting for us this morning. Thank you. At 6